Good morning, Blue Point people. I wanted to bring you a word of encouragement today. From the Psalms in Psalm 91, the Bible says, "He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress. My God, in Him I will trust. Surely He will deliver you from the snare of the fowler, from the perilous pestilence. He'll cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you shall take refuge. His truth shall be your shield and buckler, and you shall not be afraid of the terror by night, nor of the arrow that flies by day, nor of the pestilence that walks in darkness, nor of the destruction that lays waste at noonday." It seems like the psalmist here is trying to remind us or call us to dwell in the presence of the Lord, to trust in His protection. He's describing God's cover as that shadow of the Almighty. Now, I realize sometimes a shadow can be a little frightening. Maybe when you're in the dark and it moves around you or something. But this is a wonderful picture of God, how He is hovering over us. And it is a reminder that when we look before us, we can see the shadow of the Almighty who is watching our back. Much like Jesus said in Jerusalem, or to Jerusalem in Matthew chapter 23, "O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, how often would I have gathered your children together like a hen gathers her chicks under her wings? But you wouldn't." Will we gather together under the Lord's shadow? Are we going to realize His protection? He says, "I'll be your refuge, your fortress." That's why the psalmist says, "In Him I will trust." He goes on to say, He'll deliver you from the snare of the predator, from a perilous pestilence that may come in your area. Or He'll cover you with His wings where you can take refuge, and you won't be afraid because He will protect you in so many illustrious ways like He does throughout the Scriptures. But here's the secret. Verse 1 said, "He who dwells in the secret place of the Most High." It's going to take some dwelling there. A wonderful opportunity. After all, we are sheltered in place right now. While you're staying in your home, spend some time dwelling in the Lord's presence. We can do that in so many ways, perhaps in encouraging someone else by giving them a call or sending them a card or praying for them. Or maybe just worshiping the Lord by spending time in His Word and in prayer to Him. Maybe even worship in the church. You realize you can still give your gifts to the church. You can send your offering to the church by mailing it in, or you can use the link below that tells you how to tithe online if you'd like to do that. We can do great things even in the midst of confinement. I read the other day while Shakespeare was in confinement, he wrote his famous King Lear. Or Isaac Newton, when he was in confinement, he actually found calculus. He also discovered gravity. Great things. While Paul was imprisoned, he wrote some of the great epistles of the New Testament. And while in prison, John Bunyan wrote Pilgrim's Progress. What are we doing during our confinement? Are we sitting around wringing our hands? Or are we trusting in the Lord today and saying, "Lord, use me today to do something positive"? I hope that's your prayer. See ya.